There is a wonderful Buddhist mantra, the meaning of which is reflected in section 201 of the book Community. I take refuge with the teaching, with the teacher, and with the community. This is the most important spiritual exercise, a cure-all for all kinds of injuries. Leave the material sphere for a moment in spirit. Take a break from your normal everyday life. Move your consciousness into your internal individuality. Allow your soul to visit its homeland, the spiritual world. There it seeks the protection of the higher powers, enters the ashram, and steps forward to the face of the teacher. In this sacred atmosphere of high vibration, there is really no one and nothing that could hurt it. Through the heart, one is able to transmit one's consciousness along the chain of hierarchy, thereby increasing one's strength and making oneself invulnerable. In the presence of the teacher, personal touchiness cannot arise at all. Here the cosmic goals of hierarchy are being pursued. Here the concern for the well-being of your small, insignificant personal ego withdraws completely to the background. The Middle Ages have beautifully expressed this refuge with the protection of higher beings by the symbol of the Madonna of Mercy. The Queen of Heaven spreads her cloak protectively over those people who are close to her. You will find protection and security not in the material, but only in the spiritual world. When the link with the Master is strong, mountains can be moved. Striving to hierarchy creates that culture about which so much is spoken. That are those who presume that by means of earthly Maya they can create strongholds. It is as unwise as children dreaming to build a fortress out of mud. Only the world of the spirit is truly strong, for it is indestructible and invincible. A firm connection to the hierarchy makes you immune to injuries. Whoever is in his consciousness in contact with the higher world is steadfast and invincible. He has given to his spirit a freedom which is indestructible and reaching out into infinity. Let everything that we have discussed so far become concrete. Let us look at some examples from everyday life. How helps, what advice does the soul doctor give in order to prevent or heal injuries to the soul through a change in consciousness or thoughts and feelings? How does the wonderful promise become true? He who thinks beautifully will not suffer. One of the heaviest violations of the soul we may suffer is the death of a beloved person. What does the soul doctor say in such a case? First, he must point out the foundations of existence. The beloved one is immortal. His existence was not destroyed. He has passed over to a higher, better world. If he really is a soulmate, you will soon meet him again, at the latest in the afterlife. Nothing can separate souls bound by love. The soul doctor will lead his suffering patient to the realization, basically, you are not grieving for the deceased, who is now doing better than before. You are grieving for yourself, for the loss you have suffered. You fill yourself with self-pity. This is, in actual fact, an egotistic feeling. Manifold are the injuries to the soul that we have to suffer because of the behavior of other people. We are tormented, cheated, and disappointed. Our trust is being abused. Like Jesus, we are wrongly accused, mocked, humiliated, tortured, and crucified. The soul doctor says, think it over. Feel it over. Is your eternal being really affected by such rude actions? Beings who stand higher than you on the ladder of hierarchy will never hurt you. At most, they try to point out wrong behavior. If you experience this as a belittling, a humiliation of your pride, then the mistake is entirely with you. Creatures who stand below you on the hierarchical ladder can indeed treat you coarsely. In this case, however, it is your task to stand above such assaults and, according to the example of Jesus, to assert your greatness and your dignity even against the most terrible attacks. If you still feel hurt, though your higher self is invulnerable, this indicates a weakness of your eternal individuality, which you must overcome. The one who has hurt you is probably not a soulmate and not close to you at all. A stranger, however, a small, ignorant person, you must not allow to get so close to you that he can violate you. You have to distance yourself clearly from all beings standing lower. Treat them like little children. Lead them lovingly and, if necessary, severely on a better path. You cannot accomplish this task when you yourself have fallen. You can only lead others to the heights when you stand higher than they. When you have to deal with enemies, you certainly must not think about injury at all. In this case, you have to take up the fight, defend yourself, and defeat the evil forces. The most savage assault is broken by the rock of the unconquerable spirit. Some of you are actually suffering from the state of the world. They mourn the ignorance and coarseness that prevails everywhere, both in public and in private, leading to an excess of violence, suffering and war, and finally to the destruction of the planet as a whole. The Soul Doctor advises: you are living among tigers, among ignorant barbarians, in a primitive, uncivilized world. You have to face this fact. Your task is to improve the situation, to raise your environment. If you allow yourself to be dragged down by the terrible conditions, you spoil your mission. Finally, many are tormented by failure. Projects into which you have invested a lot of energy fail. Dreams or desires are not fulfilled. Then you feel weak and incompetent. The Soul Doctor says, change your thinking. Thereby you will overcome your suffering. Did you really strain all your forces? If your skills are not up to the task, look for another project that suits you better. Or raise your strength and try again later. If, on the other hand, the time for realization is not yet ripe, wait patiently for a better occasion. As a matter of fact, this apparent injury is also based on a selfish feeling. You are hurt because your expectations were not fulfilled. These examples may suffice. They show you the way to overcome all other violations, or to prevent them from arising at all. You have to change your thoughts and feelings, your attitude towards the challenges of life. Then you become invulnerable. At the end of this broadcasting, we submit a sentence for you to ponder upon. A violation is basically a selfish feeling. It disappears as soon as you become aware that in view of the mission of your eternal individuality, the well-being of your perishable personality is utterly insignificant. We realize acquiring invulnerability is a matter of controlling your thoughts and feelings. You are invulnerable when you do not allow the feeling of being hurt to arise or immediately dismiss it. We will address this topic and take a closer look at it in one of the forthcoming broadcastings.